we usually record so that people can have, people who are not able to come will have the opportunity to listen. So I'm recording now, please. So what we'll do is to go around, introduce ourselves, and if I call your name and you introduce yourself, I would want you to just seize that opportunity to, if you have any update of what is happening within your organization, to give us maybe some kind of an update of what is happening. And by update simply means that, are there any special activities that are happening? Are there any things that we need to know? And so on. And whatever you're free to you want to share, please go ahead and share with the group. For those of you who are new to Refugee Alliance of Johnson County, this is an organization that we've come together, and the whole goal of coming together is to have a clearinghouse where we can all come together and say what's happening, what are the things that we're doing to make Johnson County a welcoming environment to refugees, especially, and we work very closely with different organizations. That is especially with the Macaulay Center in Cedar Rapids that have to do with a lot of the resettlement of refugees around here. But also, most of you who are here work with different organizations, whether with the county or the city or the state, or as individuals, or with nonprofits, and some people, so we come together so that we're not repeating, we're not duplicating efforts. If I know something that John is doing, for example, and I know that it's going to be helpful, and someone comes to me, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can refer somebody to somebody who is doing something that I know is going to be useful, who is more capable of providing the kind of services that that person needs. And then also we can come together and play some kind of advocacy for people for refugees who come here, so that we can provide that enabling environment. So the goal for us in this group is for us to come together, share ideas, look at what we're doing, and see how we can be more efficient in the use of our time and resources in what we do, in the passion that we have in having refugees feel comfortable in Johnson County. I hope that gives some kind of a brief of what we have. John is a member of the planning committee for Refugee Alliance. Do you have anything to add on that for people who are coming in newly today here to the meeting?
No, I think there's a lot going on in our community and in the world, that not only can we share resources, but also advocate, and know how we can help. So I'm eager to hear what everybody has to say.
So please be very, very free, share ideas here, and we'll be very, very happy to know what you're doing, and also to know where each and every one of us can help. So my name is Sunday Goshit, and I work for Systems Unlimited as the Fleet and Facilities Manager. But I also I'm also involved with, I also teach as an adjunct faculty at the University of Iowa. I teach intercultural communication for students in international studies. But I became part of the Refugee Alliance because I'm a board member of Iowa City Compassion, IC Compassion. And so I found myself with a wonderful group of people that we can actually help. And I came here to Iowa City about 22 years ago now with a family of 6. And what that meant was that we had a lot of cultural adjustments to make. And we had to navigate, even though I came as a student. But I'm sure that most of my experiences are going to be similar to most immigrants and refugees. But we also find out that refugees have very, very peculiar experiences when they come here. So I got interested in that when I was still a student at the University of Iowa. And so I have been putting my hands on in several places to just see how best we can work together to create a welcoming environment. So that is who I am. And I will let John introduce herself as a member of the the planning committee, and then I'll go from there.
Okay, great. Well, I'm Joan Vandenberg, and I'm a community member, but I recently unretired, and now I'm the coordinator for the PM Plus program, which is it's a short-term intervention program for immigrants and refugees, like Sunday had said, who have adjustment issues moving to this country. And what we find is that people have some issues with accessing mental health services, even though they've had, terrible trauma. They also have some issues with language, because not very many counselors have, linguistically or culturally responsive programming. And then there's all the insurance and access issues to navigate. So PM Plus is an effort between the Bureau of Refugee Services and the College of Public Health here at the University of Iowa. And what we're doing is we're training peer helpers to help their fellow refugees navigate, adjusting to life in the United States, as well as any, processing some trauma that they have maybe seen in their home country. So that's my long-winded introduction to say that we are now accepting applications for people to become trainers. So the training will be in early August, and we're looking for someone who has some experience, with clinical work. We're also looking for someone who maybe has had, they have to have some experience with immigrants and refugees, and also some training experience that you feel comfortable teaching other adults. So I would say my big announcement of the day is Sunday sent that link out in the chat, and I can put the link in the chat as well. But we want to have a cadre of probably about 12 people across the state of Iowa who will be going to, their respective communities to support our refugees adjusting to this country. So anyway, should we save questions to the end, Sunday? Because that was kind of a long-winded thing.
If you have any questions, you can put them either in the chat or you can write them.
Yeah, great idea. Great idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will, Debbie, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Debbie Ackerman. I am the Johnson County Director for HACAP, the Hawkeye Area Community Action Program. I don't have any huge announcements for HACAP. We are, LIHEAP season is what we like to call it. The low energy home energy assistance program has wrapped up, and now we're doing crisis assistance for those who might have a disconnect or have defaulted on their payment arrangement for their utilities. So if you find someone who is struggling with that, they can contact us. All the information's on our website. So that's something that's kind of always going with us is LIHEAP and energy assistance. We are going to be accepting, we're always accepting Head Start applications, but the school year is winding down now. So soon summer care will start, and then fall will be the next for our school program there, for our preschool program. And then I'm working with a few of you too on Welcome Week for Johnson County. So there's going to be a week, I believe, I'm looking from my notes, I want to say it's September something
8th, yeah.
8th through the 15th, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. I'm like, I have my notes in my notebook right here. But there are going to be activities all throughout the county, in Coralville, North Liberty, and Iowa City. It's a week just to kind of celebrate the other cultures that are in our community. There will be some presentations, there'll be activities, there'll be lots of food. So if you have any questions about that, or you want to get on that committee planning, you can reach out to me and I can get you hooked up with the correct people.
Great. So, and Debbie has been connecting us to some folks in Coralville, which, if anyone knows of any other ways, we have the county involved, we have the city of Iowa City and the city of North Liberty, but we so far haven't had a representative from Coralville.
Oh.
Where we're super excited about, we have quite a slate of activities and like, thank you for sharing all that, Debbie. I think we want to have a kickoff on the 8th. And we're looking at either a fashion show or storytelling, which I think would be really, really interesting. And then one of the things that we talked about quite a bit too is, we want the community to celebrate our diversity and learn about all the cultures we have here. But we also want our immigrant community to learn about how local government works here. So if anyone has any ideas, because there's a lot of confusion of what's the city and what's the county and what's the school district and, who does what. So we're trying to think of a way to have an informative session that isn't just one of those dry sessions where you walk around and get a pamphlet and no one really is very engaged. We're looking for creative ways to make that happen. So anyway, and Kelly, you were a part of that too. Do you have anything to add on Welcoming Week?
I think so, not at this time, but there is definitely a lot brewing. So we've kind of got a lot to organize, and September's going to come fast. That's all I think.
And Kelly just did a fabulous job going to our ELL communities and getting their input at their ELL classes. Because maybe you want to talk about how you did that, because you teach them how to ride the bus, but then you also talked about this.
Yeah. So I have to give a shout out to Marwa, who's here from Kirkwood. Hi, Marwa.
Oh, great.
Okay. So Welcoming Week. Do you just want me to talk about all my things now, since my voice is warm?
Go ahead, Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sunday, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Do you want me to give my full update now, or do you want me to give a bite size and then we're going to come back to it? Or just...
No, introduce yourself, give your update.
Okay, great. So starting with Kirkwood ELL. So this is this last month. So April was our 3rd time doing a collaboration between the Mobility Coordination Program, so me, and Kirkwood English language learners at the Kirkwood, Iowa City campus. So I should say my name. I'm Kelly Schneider. I am the Johnson County Mobility Coordinator. So I help connect people with transportation resources. So I am here in the Johnson County Health and Human Services building on the 2nd floor in the Social Services Department. So the partnership with Kirkwood ELL, as I mentioned, this was our 3rd time doing this. And I want to pull up some numbers for you guys, but essentially what the training does is it informs the learners about the transportation resources here in our area. So we set that up to do 2 virtual classes. And I think you guys had like 180 students enrolled in this last series of English language classes. So there was a lot of students to connect with. 83 of those students actually came out on the bus. So I went out to the Kirkwood, Iowa City campus, and we all got multiple bus rides because we can't fit 83 people on the bus at the same time. So in groups of 15, we went from Kirkwood and Iowa City to downtown Iowa City. We got to tour the interchange and see where all of the buses connect and overlap. So if you're ever transferring from one bus to another, that's where that happens. We then take a short walk over to the Iowa City Public Library. And from there, the library staff gets to do tours and help people sign up for library cards. And then there's a little bit of free time. So students can check out books or videos, music, learn about all the things. I learned something new about our library every time we go there. My favorite thing to talk about this season of training was they have a Cricut machine. So if you want to go and design a t-shirt or personalize a coffee mug, they now have the resources to do that there and staff to teach you along the way. So our library is really great. This year, we, after some finagling, convinced Iowa City Transit and Coralville Transit to donate a 10-ride pass to each of the participants. So as I mentioned, there was about 83 students that actually wanted to come on the bus with us, and they all got to keep a 10-ride pass. So they had 8 different rides that they can use at their discretion when they wanted to. So yeah, that was a really wonderful project. I'm trying to think of what else I'm missing here. So interestingly enough, and Marwa, I don't want to steal your thunder if you were planning on talking about this. This was the last session of ELL classes at the Iowa City campus. So they have officially started their new session at the Kirkwood Regional Center in Coralville on Oakville Boulevard. So in the very northern parts of Coralville. So that first session just started there last week. I have been extending my services to work one-on-one with students that plan to ride the bus from their home to the new location. And it's quite complicated because that is a absolutely gorgeous building. I think it's going to be a wonderful location, but the current structure of the bus routes are not very user friendly. So if you're somebody that is traveling from the east or south side of Iowa City, it's going to take you quite a long time to get up to that Oakdale area. We are fortunate that there is a CAN bus route that does connect with that location, and just CAN bus is free, so that's always a wonderful access for folks. However, that route does not connect with the downtown interchange that I was talking about. So essentially, someone coming from the south or east side of Iowa City would have to ride 3 different buses to get to school, making it so that some of the longest travel time I think I had was 90 minutes. And it's a 2-hour class. So that's, you're really sacrificing a lot of your personal time to get to the classes. Luckily, Kirkwood has developed their online learning resources. So I'm hoping that can kind of fill the gap for anybody that's experiencing a transportation barrier. So just throwing some data out there, when I collected, when I was working one-on-one, I think there was 13 different ELL learners that I worked with on creating a trip plan that they were going to be riding the bus up there. So there's lots of figuring out to do. We're slowly but surely going to see how that lands. So pivoting a little bit, I also wanted to talk about the free fare that Iowa City Transit is considering. So last week, council met and heard a presentation from Iowa City Transit staff regarding their interest in doing a 2-year fare-free pilot. So fare-free means you would just get on the bus and take your seat. You don't need to worry about going to Hy-Vee to pick up your payment or going to the library to pick up the pass. You can just jump on and ride. So I'm not sure when they'll be officially voting on that, but that project really stood out for timing and funding. So we're very excited to see that come to life. So advocacy moment for you all. If you work with, recreate, play in the city of Iowa City, you can let council know your thoughts on having free fare access. So that would be a really wonderful opportunity for our community at large. I think that's all I had. I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'll go ahead and stop talking now.
Yes, they may come.
Okay, great. I won't go anywhere.
So on the advocacy note, is there any thought, and maybe this is a question from Marwa, anything that we can advocate for so that the in-person classes wouldn't be such a transportation challenge for folks that live on the southeast side of Iowa City to get to the new beautiful building?
Hello. Unfortunately, at this time, we have been advocating for our students. We've been letting leadership know. They're working on, I believe, Kelly, you're speaking with Carla and maybe Jasmine. They're the dean and the vice president of continuing ed, which we're under that umbrella with the city of Coralville and Iowa City to kind of figure out what can be done. So as of now, we have nothing, but I know they're working on it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think we're going to have to gather a little bit of data on the impact and look at how long these trip plans are, and present that to the people that are quite a few steps up above Marwa and I, but we will still be on the ground collecting that information. So on that note, I do want to plug, if any of you are working with an ELL learner that's accessing classes at Kirkwood and they've experienced a barrier, please let me know. I want to add that to my record keeping to kind of share with the right people.
Good, good. Good to know. And yeah, and if, I guess same thing with, advocating for the free fare, if anyone wants to weigh in with their local representatives, probably Coralville Transit, Iowa City Transit, and Kirkwood administration are the folks that are going to come up with the solution for this.
That'd be nice. Yeah. If they have ideas, we'll go with that. But yeah, the wheels are definitely turning.
Okay, good.
But on the topic of free fare, it is going to, I'm just trying to reimagine how I deliver my training services, because about a quarter of my training services is talking about the fare services. It's going to be interesting because it's to my understanding from the conversation last week that Coralville Transit is not in position to start a free fare program. So that's going to really look interesting that we have Iowa City Transit free, Canvas free, Coralville not. So that's going to be a really interesting angle and way to
Yeah,
navigate people around. So
transfers could be very interesting.
yeah. So none of that has been sorted out yet. So stay tuned.
Okay. Marwa, did you introduce yourself? Can you introduce yourself? And then if you have anything to add, if not, just introduce yourself. Let's know who you are.
Definitely, thank you. My name is Marwa Ibrahim. I'm here representing all of Kirkwood, but specifically we're under the secondary program, which are the secondary department, ESL program, and the high school completion program. So yeah, we support people in our community, making sure that we have free ESL classes for these individuals. Our sister program is the high school completion, and they help with getting people there. You used to be called GED, but just that high school equivalency. For me specifically, I am under secondary programs, but I'm kind of in that third bucket, and I work specifically with integrated education and training programs. So what we do is we work either with businesses or certificate or degree programs here at Kirkwood, and we look at where there is a gap. So if we are finding students from our population that are interested in going into healthcare, I make sure that we kind of see who these guys are and build a bridge program for them. We build English classes that integrate the English skills that they need with whatever the occupational customized skill that they need to put together. So currently we do have the basic healthcare communication that we have been running for a while, but those are running both in Iowa City and Cedar Rapids, or I should say Coralville. You'll hear me say Iowa City because I'm so used to it, but we are Coralville now. So Coralville and Cedar Rapids, but I'm also working with a lot of businesses in our community with training some either incumbent staff, or they're looking to hire from this untapped population of non-native English speakers. And I build programs specifically for them that are customized for that business in order to train these individuals with the English skills they need, again, very customized to that business, to be able to either get a job or maintain their job or hopefully get some kind of promotion once they complete it. Currently, I'm working with businesses in manufacturing, childcare, direct support professionals in the community in Johnson, of course, Lynn County as well. So if you do have any individuals that are looking for work and might just have that gap in their proficiency, send them my way and we can get them, if they're interested in any of these fields, just to kind of get started. We can get the certifications they need, whatever those requirements are, as well as the English skills. And all of this is grant funded. So it's great for everybody. Yeah.
Great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You.
That's Christine. Can you introduce yourself, please? You do. This is one of the offices that I think that the Offices of Refugee Services in the state has. We have. I'll let Christine talk about that and introduce herself and talk about what she does. You're muted.
That I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to talk, and then I find myself muted. Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Sandy, and good morning, everybody. My name is Christine Ross, and I am the State Refugee Health Coordinator. And my work mainly is to collaborate and work with the community and in creating programs or things that we see if it's major, trying to change some policy, create policy to address refugee health in Iowa. What we want is to make sure that the refugee come and they can access healthcare. That's big for me. Making sure people are accessing healthcare and are really getting the healthcare, cultural appropriate healthcare for them. And so if there is barrier, I need to work with community members and the clinics, the hospitals, to see how we can really address that, making sure that that is streamlined well. So I am interested in creating program to educate service providers, healthcare providers about the refugee cultures, because there are variety, and sometimes the refugees might go to a hospital or a clinic and behave differently, and they're wondering why. And it could be because of their culture. Whatever you're trying to do is not sitting well with them, because in their culture, that's not allowed, that's not an okay, or that's a taboo or something. And people need to know that not just that, oh, these people are coming from a primitive area and they just don't know. No, it's not that. It's about their culture, and everybody, including all of us here, we care a lot about our own culture. So we should also respect the refugees' cultures, wherever they come from. So I have been meeting a lot, and I still intend to meet different group, different organizations, and understand how they're playing the role or what they're running into as they serve the refugee population. What kind of health issues is their community? Because me alone, I cannot talk for everybody. I am also original from South Sudan, and I came as a refugee. I have my own experience, and so I cannot talk for everybody, and everybody's experience is different. And so I am really, really interested in learning. It has been, wow, it's almost coming to, let me say, 3 months, coming to 4 months that I've been on the job, and I've been meeting, I've been learning. I've been in Iowa City. I still want to come to the Iowa City. I kind of like loved Iowa City because I told John, I just knew it from what's that bus go to Chicago, pass by Iowa City.
Oh, the mega bus?
The mega bus. I know Iowa City from the mega bus perspective, because I used to go to Chicago. My daughter went to school there, so I would go past there and they stopped to Iowa City. I don't even remember where, but a brief stop there and we are out, and I was like, oh, this is a small city. But when I went to visit John, I'm like, all these buildings are hidden behind these trees, and and I'm like, wow, it's a really beautiful city, and I kind of like it. But I will stop there and come and meet some of you pretty soon. Yeah. So if you have any question or you have any idea that you like, I think this is going on, please feel free, and Sandy can share my contact.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We can put your email in the chat if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing that and knowing that you're there especially for the health issue. Crystal, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Crystal Josel. I am with Iowa City Community Schools, and I am the person who oversees our interpretation and translation services here for the district. I also oversee our cultural liaison program. So a lot of work with our different language populations here in the school district. I don't have anything too much to share. I'm kind of just gathering information that I could take back to other people. One thing I will share though is we have our CDAC committee. If you don't know what that is, that's our Community Education District-wide Advisory Council. We have openings available and we're looking for representatives for Iowa City, Coralville, and the Hills area. So part of that committee is just learning about the different programs we have, specifically our student and family advocates. Our cultural liaison program is funded out of the funding for that CDAC oversees, and then also our before and after school programs. So if you are interested or anyone else is interested, I can throw the link for the application in the chat for all of you. But yeah, we're looking for some board members or advisory council members for that because we have 3 people who are outgoing. So we need to fill those slots. So I will put the link for that in our chat.
Yes. Let me just tell them that I'm exiting and I'll be in.
She's, I think she's drunk right now, but she's.
Okay. Anne, were you talking? Okay, so,
I think something has come up for her.
okay. Yeah, I was on CDAC. It's an amazing committee to be on, and I would encourage you to identify people who really have the passion to do this, and it's a very good service to the community. You get to know a lot more about the different after school programs and the different things that we do in the community. So please, you either apply or encourage people to apply. Thank you so much for sharing, Crystal. Okay, I would like to take Sarah now, and this is because Sarah has requested to share with us about what is happening in Sudan and some of the things that we can do to help our community as it is now. And so, Sarah, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Haroun. I'm a Sudanese American, live in Iowa City. I'm so happy to be with you and to be here to share a part of our community and what is going on in Sudan. Before I go that far, I guess I need to introduce myself more. I came to United States as a refugee 17 years back, it's a long time. And I moved to Iowa City, 2016. As being a refugee or immigrant in this country, that just led me to volunteer when I moved to Iowa City to be a community outreach and helping Sudanese newcomer to Iowa City, just support them with finding a house and also a government assistance and being interpreter for a lot of struggle with language barrier. Also part what I'm doing in the community, I work at IC Compassion as interpreter and community outreach, support the community with resources through mental health center. And I'm a caregiver actually for a long time, work at the Bird House, one of the hospice, one of the hospice care here in Iowa City. As you know, some of you know about the hospice care in Iowa City, the Bird House. Also, I'm a member of Sudanese American Community for Service. In April 15, the war started in Sudan. As a Sudanese community, we're trying to raise some money to support people in Sudan. I know it's a hard time and it's a difficult time, but we try our best to do that. And also we support as a community, as a Sudanese American for service. We support families, they lost their loved one in Sudan because they kind of like, they've been a lot of trauma. Like it's not just losing their family member, also shortage of medicine there and shortage of food and water. All this lead us as the Sudanese American here suffering with many trauma. And we trying just to support each other and kind of like gathering talk. We're trying to find other people or other community that can support us and stand behind us. And one of the resource we're trying also to reach it at kind of like the mental health program for the Sudanese community here in Iowa City. And that all what we trying to do, and we just kind of, we need your support. We need to put a lot of pressure in the big organization like the Red Cross and those kind of like has a big voice. They can help Sudan and send some of the medical supplies and those kind of need, like really we need support and people to stand with us. And also we need to put pressure in the government or people, all the people, they are able to stop this war in Sudan. We need to put a lot of pressure on, we need your voice. And yeah, that all we need. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share and to talk. This experience is a heavy, and yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And we encourage that those of you who are in leadership roles there to try to identify those who actually can help, especially with the mental health issue. People who can provide the kind of counseling services that your community needs. So all of you who are here, you've heard that. So it's important that we actually try to see how we can help. Sarah, from the Iowa Refugee. Yes. Sarah Tello, can you?
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's nice to see some faces I've met for the first time in person recently. And I'm Sarah Terlau, and I'm the executive director with IRC, so it's International Rescue Committee. I have been spending a lot of I live in Iowa City, but I've also been spending a lot of time with colleagues, having meetings over the last couple of weeks about the IRC opening an office in Iowa City. We're about to celebrate our first anniversary in Des Moines and have resettled about 200 refugees so far. That number will continue to go up for the Des Moines area. And we are hoping to begin like formal refugee resettlement. So people who are in refugee camps usually overseas, and that we will start to do actual resettlement, bringing people from overseas into Iowa City. We will not know for sure until probably late July or early August if it's fully confirmed. But we anticipate that it will be. And we have put a number of 100 refugees that we would resettle between October, when the federal fiscal year begins, and September of next year. And then we're making projections about an increase every year after that. but those would be determined in future years. IRC is a large organization that's been around about 100 years. And we work in 40 countries internationally, supporting refugees and people fleeing conflict. So have been active in Afghanistan lately. Well, for years, we've been in Afghanistan for like 20 years, but have done a lot in Afghanistan, have done a lot in Ukraine and the countries surrounding Ukraine, are now doing as much as possible in Sudan as access permits. So we very much are engaged in crises as they erupt. And then on the US side, we work in about 30 cities on the other side of refugee support, which is when they come to the United States. Yeah, met with a lot of partners, have had a really warm welcome. I won't rattle off the long list of everybody we've met with, but it's been a really supportive environment, and we appreciate that from everyone and definitely want to connect. So if there's anyone we haven't met that we should, if there's anyone on this call that would like to meet, please just reach out to me. Because we don't want to, leave anybody off the list that we should be meeting with and haven't. So yeah, that's my trying to keep it quick, update for IRC.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And those of us on the planning committee, most of us have met Sarah and Sarah, both of them from IRC. And we think that the experience that IRC has and everything that they have done around the world and the need that we have around Iowa City, it will be to the benefit of the community to have an organization that is very experienced and has done a lot to come into the community and do this work along with CMC and other people who are doing the work. And so we are, as a body of people who meet together, we totally support and hope that we will get you into Iowa City so that you can start the wonderful things that you do around the world. Thank you so much. Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Miller. I work at Johnson County Public Health in communicable disease, but I do oversee several of our programs that have services that are specifically aimed at our refugee and immigrant population. So we have a program where we are able to help refugees with the vaccine review that they need for their I-693 forms for their one-year status adjustment. So we are able to do that here, and they don't have to go to a civil surgeon and pay the cost. It's a free service. And we also are able to provide tuberculosis testing and vaccine review for people who are coming over, like the Ukrainian parolees, folks who have come without that full medical evaluation before they leave the country and might need, like the Ukrainian parolees, right, have a 90-day time period to accomplish a few things that they need to document. We're able to do that here for them. We also just have a lot of knowledge, right, about some of the medical services and things in town, and are able to help folks if they just need some guidance. We do have a language line that we can use. We do have French and Spanish speaking staff that we can help people. So we just try and be a resource for some of those questions that come up. And we're a resource for the medical providers as well, who are unfamiliar with some of the different needs for some of the different kinds of medical exams that people need. So it's an ongoing struggle to get them to call us with a question before they do something that isn't helpful, but we try. And then when we find something that didn't work right, we try and figure out how to fix it. And then other parts of the public health department, of course, have other services in our clinical services area. There's the immunization clinics, there's the WIC clinic, there's maternal child health, They're getting ready to start up in another month or so, their summer back to school, right? Programming, getting kids there, all the stuff that they need, get all that paperwork filled out so that they can get back into the classroom. And there's usually lots of incentives to get them to come in. So yeah, that's us.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And definitely the Public Health Department of Johnson County was very, 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 very active during COVID and to the immigrant and refugee community. And we appreciate all the sensitization and information that was provided to the immigrant and refugee community by the department during that period. And it's continuing. So thank you so much for your services. Please refer people to them. They want to help. So Jenny Hager, can you?
Sure. Good morning. I'm Jenny Hager. I'm a community relations rep with the Mayor Group Iowa. We are one of the Medicaid companies, one of 2 and soon to be 3 in the state of Iowa. There is a new MCO coming in. Molina will be coming in July 1st. So there's a lot of changes going on, a lot of things. So people are confused, a lot of confusion. So our role is just to make sure to help people with the that transition. Some people, the open choice period ended May 18th, where people can, switch to another, whoever they want, an MCO, but that has closed. But now with the new MCO coming in July 1st, there will be another open choice. So if people are on a Mayor Group or Iowa Total Care and they get moved to Molina, they can switch back if they want. So if anybody wants any information on that, let me know. We are really working on listening to people to find out what their, how to encourage people to access their health care. We are bringing out some more what we call value-added benefits or perks, trying to encourage people to access their health care. We have 50 new what we call value-free benefits on top of their additional coverage coming out, along with our existing ones. Some of them being transportation for Medicaid for non-emergent needs is a Medicaid coverage service. We're going to be adding a choice of people can have a $100 gift card or gas card, up to $200 for car repair, just different things, like I said, trying to encourage them to access their health care. And then also, we're always looking ways to help organizations partner and collaborate. We in the past have partnered with HACAP and Public Health and gave away 49 car seats to refugees. We are currently going to be just gave 250 bags to Catherine McCauley Center for their refugees coming in, and they have deodorant and some feminine hygiene products in there. So always looking for ways to collaborate, and just again is make sure that people have their access to benefits. So again, I'll put my name and information in the chat. If anybody has any questions or if anyone has any ideas for collaboration, please let us know.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I think we should take advantage of that. Abby, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, Abby Fries, Catherine McCauley Center. I'm working resource navigation here, and we do refugee resettlement as well as other services for refugees as well as immigrants in the community. One thing about Iowa City that is challenging is our offices are located here, and so when we have refugees that we resettle who want to live in the Iowa City area, usually because they have a U.S. tie, which means a friend or family member that lives in Iowa City. It's a little bit challenging providing support for them beyond the 90-day resettlement period, just because our resource navigation program is typically based here in the Cedar Rapids area. We do have some other case management programs that can work with people longer term if they qualify, but yeah, definitely a challenge, serving clients that aren't in the Cedar Rapids area. So I don't know if I have any updates, I guess, on behalf of CMC. We are just rolling along as usual.
Yeah, you guys walk every day, so. Yeah. Okay. Sonia, are you there?
Yep, I am here. Sorry, my camera is not working, so I'm off camera today, but I am the Community Engagement Coordinator with the Bureau of Refugee Services. I work with Christine, so I plan workshops and classes for refugees to help them adjust to life in Iowa, and I also represent BRS at various community engagement events. So if there's anything you'd like to hold in Iowa City, I am happy to work with you on that. We're based in Des Moines, but we do serve the whole state. So happy to provide support in any way that I can.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Sonia has been very, very active. She's been really following on anything that we actually call her to do. She's actually been following up. So if you have anything, just let her know. I promise you she'll be there. Thanks. Joshua.
Hi, hello everyone. Apologize, my camera is gonna be acting weird this morning too, so I had a hard time hearing you guys. I had to clock off and log back in again. So my name is Joshua Dabusu. I am the community outreach assistant at the Iowa City Police Department. I work mostly with immigrant and refugees. We had this position about a year, so they had a community outreach before, but they never had anything that deals with immigrant and refugees populations when it comes to, you know, like interpreting or like somebody who has kind of better knowledge when it comes to cultural awareness and cultural stuff. I've been here. This is maybe my third meeting you guys. What I usually do, I work with officers with the goal to help them understand, you know, like the immigrant and refugees cultures. So because they are the one who usually go out on calls and dealing with them, I usually sit back here, kind of like, you know, like the behind the screen person, and then kind of leading them to what they need to do or what is best for them to do. At the same time, I work with immigrant and refugees folks too, to help them understand how policing works in America, which is different from where I'm from. I'm originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, you know, policing is quite different than in the Congo versus here. And then I've been one of the victims as well, you know, just like acting weird, and then because of not knowing exactly how you should behave when you're being pulled over, for instance. So I go out and give presentations to, you know, traffic stops, domestic violence, anything, you know, and I go sometime with our detectives. I've been to some of the school, one time at Kirkwood, several times with some of our local organizations, like, you know, if they want us to be there for any reason, or just they want us to have Joshua, an officer, hang out. You know, I speak French and Lingala, so it's kind of great to have somebody here in a PD who's also able to, you know, speak some other languages. And we have some officers speak Spanish as well, but it's great to have more people who are able to speak other languages. So yeah, it was great meeting you guys. I'm probably gonna put my email down there, and you know, if there is anything, maybe like, because sometimes I get those requests like, hey, we would like to have somebody who speak this language to, you know, to give a presentation on this issue, or but we don't know exactly who to reach out to. Joshua's there, and the position is pretty new, and not everyone knows about it. And so it's great to, you know, to meet you guys very often. And so that way, you know, that Josh is around. So, you know, if there is an issue with immigrant refugees with the police, at least we can refer to somebody who can help us somehow. So it was great meeting you guys.
Thank you so much, Joshua. Yeah, and we hope that we would make use of you more. And thank you for all you do. I know you've gone to quite a number of meetings. So, we have quite a number of things on the chat, but I can see that most of them have been responded to. So I don't see any on one here that I think one that I don't mention here is that I think is it Crystal who put this, that they need to we'll be hiring language interpreters. They need people in French and Swahili and American Sign Language interpreters. So if you know anyone, please, in the community, in your networks, let them know that the school district needs interpreters in these areas. They also, if you're interested in applying for the CDAC position, please get in touch with Crystal. Did you put your email address there, Crystal?
Yes, but I can type it again.
Okay. Kelly had earlier said that the timeline for the regarding free fare is moving very fast, and if the council approves, the fare free pilot for Iowa City Transit will start around the start of UI classes this coming semester. This coming semester, does it mean summer semester or fall?
Oh,
Fall?
yeah, so they haven't said if it's gonna be right before the classes start or maybe a little bit after, but in that general next few months.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think if there's no pressing question or anything to share now, I think we've done, it's amazing to hear what everybody's doing. And thank you so much for everything that you do for the immigrant and refugee communities. And we hope that we'll continue to work together and that we'll pick up the contacts. We'll try to get the recording. And if you need to know any more information that we did not get, you will get it from the recording, and we'll share the link to the recording. Thank you for coming. We appreciate everything that we do, and have a great week.
I think Sarah had something to say.
Okay, Joshua.
No, Sarah, I think she has her hands up and stuff, so.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
Yes, I know you're wrapping up, but I guess I need to say that I believe there is a lot of resource out there for the community. And I guess what I see in my community and my experience as the community outreach and resource support is just kind of like we are locked. We have a lot of resources, or the information of lack of information about this resource. I try to help a lot of family with the CDACs, with settling people that are newcomer, for as I heard just spoken about the car seat for the baby, all those kind of like resource for people in my community. I guess kind of like I experienced a lot of hard to find this, and it took me forever actually to get this resource for people in need. I guess I'm so happy to hear from you, and I'm so happy to know you, and I will keep your information to contact with you if I need, if there is any family in need. And thank you so much.
And I want to encourage those of us who are here who know community leaders that this is a very important meeting that they can attend. If you know somebody who should be at this meeting is not here, as community leaders especially, you can see that most of the people here are providers. We want people who lead members of the community to come to this meeting so that they would know the availability of resources, who to contact and where to go. And that would help us a lot in getting out the information. Thank you for coming today, Sarah, and hopefully we'll get to see more people.
You're welcome. And also I need to meet with Marwa. I see she put her information, and Jenny also. It's kind of maybe all of you, I will reach you and to get some. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And I would also like to meet with Sarah, and I would like to meet the organizations that you guys present. And I'll be coming to Iowa and meeting most of you to understand how the service you provide and what informations are there, because as I go across the state and talking to people, and there might be certain ideas that people can share in other part of the states. So I like to know what is really going on, and people are struggling, and like with the Des Moines Public School, it looks like they're having hard time. I had was it the public health person who was talking about giving incentives for people to get their immunizations. The Des Moines Public School are struggling with people completing their required school immunization, especially the refugees. And we're trying to work out ways, how can we make this simpler for the parent, because it gets too much. And if you have 5 kids, high school, middle school, grade school, and you are new, and it gets to be too complicated. So I'm also looking for idea of how can we make this simpler for the parents to be able to follow it easily, and not even lose the document, lose the papers, or even remember what immunizations the child has already got or is still missing. So we're working on ways. If you have idea, please send in my way. And with the Des Moines Public School, I met with the West Des Moines Public School, and I'm meeting Des Moines Public School coming up, and we are working on that. And the county is also helping, and we just need to make it simpler for the refugees. It gets really overwhelming. Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
And just because, Sarah, you brought up that car seat event, we are actually, I partner a lot with the Johnson County Early Childhood Iowa Empowerment Board, and I know Jennifer at Public Health, you guys do as well. On June 1st, there's going to be another clinic like that. Unfortunately, there aren't any more openings for getting your free car seats. But I put a link into the chat for their Facebook page. You can get to the event from there. There'll be car seat checks, vaccines, food boxes, health education, lots of stuff for the community there. So June 1st at the Johnson County Health and Human Services building. And folks can get their kiddos vaccinated and get those checks. Make sure they have everything that they need for school as well.
Perfect. Great.
Jennifer, did you want to say something? Okay.
No.
Thank you so much. This is very good information. So, have a great week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks.